Hello Cobra Kai fans, this is Storydive back again, breaking down the references and Easter eggs in the recently released Netflix series Cobra Kai Season 3. Fans of Cobra Kai, especially from back in the YouTube Red days, have been waiting a long time for this season, and I have to say it did not disappoint. Like the last two seasons, it was a lot of fun, and gave us a better understanding of the characters that we have come to know from the previous seasons and the original Karate Kid films. Like the last two seasons, this season had a lot of references to the original Karate Kid films, as well as 1980s pop culture and just pop culture in general. So for this breakdown, I'm going to go over all of these references and Easter eggs that I noticed in Cobra Kai Season 3, as well as the references to the previous Cobra Kai seasons. Also, there will be spoilers in this video, so with that said, let's get started. To start off, Johnny punches through a car window like Kreese did unintentionally in Karate Kid 2. Then Johnny attempts the same kick he used on Kyler in Season 1, but is too drunk to land it.
You don't need to turn this into some kind of karate footloose.
Daniel says they don't need to turn this into some kind of karate footloose, referring to the 1984 Kevin Bacon film in which a town has banned dancing, but it's karate in this case.
Bullshit! I heard you were the real bully.
Evidently, that guy has seen the YouTube video Daniel is the Real Bully by J. Matthew Turner.
Don't get all high and mighty, LaRusso. You're the one who taught these kids that Miyagi crap.
This guy mispronounces Miyagi the same way Daniel does in the first Karate Kid.
No offense, Mr. Miyagi, but I don't think you understand my problem.
Miyagi.
Amanda makes reference to Tori being Freddy Krueger, which she was a bit in the school fight.
Well, some dinosaur Freddy Krueger nearly tore her face off.
Dimitri uses the safety of the teacher to tease the Cobra Kais in the same way Daniel did in the first Karate Kid film.
I was telling my buddies about it, but I kind of messed it up, so I was wondering if you could give us a quick review on it now.
And of course, Dimitri makes a lot of movie references throughout the series.
Easy there, Captain Marvel. Whatever, Cruella. Why don't you go kill a bunch of Dalmatians? You parent-trapped us?
This guy makes a subtle reference to Dog the Bounty Hunter.
I'll hunt you down like a dog in the streets, bro.
The sort of yin and yang karate fighter that Miguel faces in his coma dream has a real karate style written on his back called Yoshukai, which translated means Training Hall of Continued Improvement. Might be a reference to what Miguel is going through at this point. At the Cobra Kai dojo, Daniel sees a Kreese cutout, like the one he saw when he first entered the Cobra Kai dojo in Karate Kid 1, and the one Kreese hid behind in Karate Kid 3. Then Kreese steals Miyagi's line.
There's no such thing as a bad student.
No such thing, bad student, only bad teacher.
Daniel reminds Kreese that little bastard Miyagi kicked his ass more than once.
You're a pushy little bastard, ain't you?
That little bastard kicked your ass. More than once.
In the Kreese backstory flashback, we see the car that Miyagi eventually gives to Daniel, the 47 Ford convertible, and the writers do some intentional misdirection by making this very bullyish guy mention no mercy.
They're the opponent. You don't show them mercy.
But of course, it's just meant to misdirect us. This guy is actually Kreese. And soon after, he gets his leg sweeped, a taste of his own medicine, before he sweeps this guy.
Sweep the leg.
And puts his bully in a very similar pose as Miyagi had him in the beginning of Karate Kid 2.
Truckosaurus was badass and you loved every minute of it.
I think that's a Simpsons reference.
The unbelievable Truckosaurus!
Amanda asks them if they're Tango and Cash.
What are you, Tango and Cash?
Tango and Cash were narcotics detectives.
Referring to the classic but cheesy buddy cop movie with Sly Stallone and Kurt Russell. We get a classic 80s style chase scene while Motley Crue's Kickstart My Heart plays in the background, one of the best hair metal songs ever. While they may not be cops, they are sort of double dragons. Daniel uses a very similar defensive technique on Johnny to what Miyagi used on Kreese in Karate Kid 2. It might not be a reference, but this reminded me of Mission Impossible 2, and Kreese's instructing style hasn't changed at all. Bobby sweeps Johnny. There's a lot of sweeps in this season.
Sweep the leg.
Robbie is reading William Golding's Lord of the Flies, which explores human brutality through the eyes of young boys stranded on an island. Kind of similar to the situation he's in Juvie, as well as the kids caught up in this karate war. Also, Mr. Miyagi liked to catch flies.
What goes up over a balcony must come down.
This has to be a reference to Miguel, and that was uncalled for.
I am not a bully.
Daniel says he is not a bully, refuting the argument made by the popular YouTube video. These two pull up on their bikes very much like the Cobra Kais did in the first movie.
I was arrested for assaulting a minor.
A minor?
Technically multiple minors. These kids were real pricks.
Yes, he did assault multiple minors, but they were being real pricks. Did anyone else wonder why Johnny had female dancers circled on this paper? In Karate Kid 2, Sato was selling off the castle near Tomi Village and was even going to bulldoze the village at one point, but he supposedly changed his ways by the end, only to later turn Tomi Village into a shopping mall. But I guess he meant well.
Village almost died as well. So Mr. Sato turned to a whole new economy. Now we have a Jersey Mike's.
Daniel sees Kumiko for the first time in over 30 years, and like Karate Kid 2, she is doing a traditional dance with children, very much like one of the dances she did in Karate Kid 2.
Let's prove him wrong.
During this Miyagi-Do Cobra Kai soccer match, we hear the song Rock and Roll Over You by the Moody Blues, which was playing when Daniel and Kumiko entered the ice-breaking place in Karate Kid 2. Dimitri trips Hawk very much like Bobby tripped Daniel in Karate Kid 1, more leg sweeping. Who knew Kumiko was into 90s alternative bands?
Cranberries opened for Radiohead. 1995, they played Zombie.
And apparently she didn't get married because no one other than Daniel and Chosen fought to the death over her.
None of them fought to the death for me.
No, we fight to death.
I guess she's joking.
I am the same age now that Mr. Miyagi was when he met me.
Actually, if you want to talk about the actors, Ralph Macchio is older than Pat Morita in Karate Kid 1. I can see why Johnny likes this place. That's Coors Banquet on tap. This is apparently the same house that Daniel and Miyagi arrived at in Karate Kid 2, and once belonged to Yukie, but now belongs to Kumiko. The series teased us here, making us think they went back to the ice-breaking joint, but actually it's just ice for their drinks. Then Daniel turns around and sees his old rival Chosen, and boy is that one hell of a flashback.
It's not tournament. It's for real.
I know.
I've watched Karate Kid 2 many times, and I never heard Daniel say, "I know" there. So this has to be previously unreleased footage.
He made the quarters, but he drew a kid named Vidal.
Kreese mentions that Johnny lost to a martial artist named Vidal in his first All-Valley tournament, and this is definitely a reference to Daryl Vidal, the real name of the actor and martial artist who doubled for Miyagi during the crane kick and also appeared in the first tournament here. They even call him Vidal in the movie.
Master of your domain. You ever see Seinfeld?
I don't think Chosen is up on his Seinfeld references.
Are you still master of your domain?
During this scene, we hear the classic song Oh Yeah by Yellow. Probably made most famous in the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off. If you ever wondered how Chosen knew about the crane kick in Karate Kid 2, this is how. Chosen also has a picture of the real-life karate master Chojun Miyagi, as Daniel does in his dojo. This isn't exactly a leg sweep, but why does everybody always attack Daniel's leg? And here Chosen does what looks like parts of a real karate kata called Sanshin. After he reveals the secret Miyagi pressure points technique, he finally gets payback on Daniel for the nose honk.
Honk!
I kinda wanted to see Johnny use Tony Robbins and LSD on Miguel. In this scene, Hawk is in the exact same position that Miguel was at the end of the school brawl in Season 2, but unlike Miguel, who let Robbie go, Hawk does break Dimitri's arm. Chosen tells Daniel,
You keep for your collection.
because he knows Daniel like it.
You keep for your collection. I know you like it.
Daniel is reunited with the bell-ringing girl from the Typhoon in Karate Kid 2, Yuna, and in case you were wondering, I looked it up, this is the same actress. Her name is Tracy Taguchi, and she was the little girl in Karate Kid 2. Johnny and Miguel go to a Dee Snider concert, who was the lead singer of the most hair metal-iest of hair metal bands, Twisted Sister, and he even sings a Twisted Sister track, The Kids Are Back. Amanda addresses Kreese as Rambo.
Hey, Rambo.
Maybe because she's seen Rambo 2, and Martin Kove is actually in that. Kreese repeats his classic line from Karate Kid 1, but then he gets slapped.
But I like that. I like that. But I like that. I like it.
I'm sure like a lot of people, when I first saw this guy, who's only credited as Ponytail on IMDb, I thought he must be Terry Silver, but again, the writers were doing a misdirection. As it turns out, he gets killed, and in fact, this guy is Terry Silver. We finally learn who Kreese learned karate from, and it's this guy, Captain Turner, but Turner says he learned Tong Soo Do, which is the real style that the Cobra Kai actors were trained in for Karate Kid 1, and he says he learned it from Master Kim Sung-young.
I learned Tong Soo Do during the Korean War under Master Kim Sung-young.
who Terry Silver references as his sensei in Karate Kid 3.
My master is Kim Sung-young of South Korea. My teacher sends his respects.
While they are training, Captain Turner does the same throw and almost face punch that Kreese does to his student in Karate Kid 1, and we learn where Kreese was first introduced to the no mercy principle.
No hesitation, no second thoughts, and no mercy.
No mercy.
Johnny gives Miguel some of his old photos to upload to Facebook, and actually these were photos that William Zabka took for Teen Beat in the 80s. Amanda makes a subtle reference to the 1993 Demi Moore and Woody Harrelson film Indecent Proposal.
This is a business proposal, not the indecent kind.
Kreese tells Daniel it's open season, like he did to Miyagi and Daniel in Karate Kid 1.
It's open season. On them. And you.
It's open season. On him. And you.
Apparently Sam has done this training method as well.
That was the day we taught you how to balance on the bow of the boat.
Sam is practicing the special Miyagi family kata from Karate Kid 3. Mike Barnes finally makes an appearance in Cobra Kai, albeit by flashback from Karate Kid 3. This track is I Wanna Be Somebody by Wasp, more hair metal. In an attempt to form his own school separate from Cobra Kai, Johnny rebrands his karate school Eagle Fang Karate, which I can't help but suspect is a reference to his favorite movies, Iron Eagle and Iron Eagle 2.
I like muscle cars, martial arts, and Iron Eagle 2.
Daniel quotes Miyagi's thoughts on revenge from the first Karate Kid film.
Mr. Miyagi used to say, if you're looking for revenge,
start by digging to a grave.
Johnny's Carmen dream from the second season finally becomes a reality. This looks like Allie's house from the first Karate Kid film. Apparently her parents haven't moved. And finally, we get to see Allie Mills in the series.
It's good to be back, Mom.
The track playing in the background is another classic, Christmas Rapping by the Waitresses. Here Sam demonstrates the drum technique from Karate Kid 2, and actually we get a much better view of it than we got in the Karate Kid 2 film.
Is that my drum in your pocket?
Or are you just happy to see me? Tori sounds a little bit like Emperor Palpatine here.
If you take all that hate and you channel it,
let the hate flow through you.
Yeah, you did mess up my radio, didn't you? You ran over it with your motorcycle.
No, I didn't run it over. Dutch ran it over. I just threw it.
Actually, it was Johnny that ran over the radio. He had a red jacket and a black and red helmet, while Dutch had a gray jacket. Daniel finally puts the question of the illegal kick to rest.
The rules state anything above the waist is legal.
Everything above your waist is a point.
Johnny and Allie go back to golf and stuff, where she and Daniel went on their first date in Karate Kid 1, and the same song, Feel the Night by Baxter Robinson, plays in the background, and actually this episode is named Feel the Night.
Can you feel the night?
Johnny returns to the Encino Oaks Country Club from the first film, and while he's there, he almost has a tray of spaghetti dropped on him, like Daniel did in the first film. Allie addresses Daniel as Daniel with an L.
Daniel with an L.
The way he introduced himself in the first film.
Daniel with an L.
Daniel implies Johnny's jacket looks like Pacino and Scarface.
You should talk there, Scarface.
In this scene, Tori wears a skeleton hoodie, another reference to the Cobra Kai Halloween costumes from the first film. Allie says, I hope he didn't tell Miyagi I crashed his car, but of course he did.
I hope he didn't tell him that it was my fault it crashed.
First I let Allie borrow the car and she redesigns my fender.
Once again, we get an epic fight in the finale. Tori goes for the nunchaku and Sam goes for the bow staff. And actually, both of these weapons were wielded by Bruce Lee in Return of the Dragon and Enter the Dragon. Incidentally, Bruce Lee learned a lot of his nunchaku technique from the karate master Fumio Demura, who was Mr. Miyagi's stunt double in some scenes in the original Karate Kid films. In this kind of sad parting scene, another 80s classic with Open Arms by Journey plays in the background. And in the epic conclusion of Kreese's backstory, we finally learn why he named it Cobra Kai in the first place. This scene is very reminiscent of the 1978 film, The Deer Hunter. And as we heard Terry say in Karate Kid 3, he owes Kreese for saving his ass in Nam.
I owe you, man. I owe you, man. You don't owe me anything. Oh, bullshit. I don't owe you anything?
What about Vietnam, huh?
How many times did you save my ass?
And in this final scene, we can see him calling what I'm pretty sure is Terry Silver. So likely Terry will appear in Season 4. In the end, Miyagi-Do and Cobra Kai, or rather Eagle Fang, finally unite into one unified dojo called Miyagi Fang. Actually, I don't know what they call it, but I hope they don't call it that. And in the background, a cover of Phil Collins' I Can Feel It Coming in the Air Tonight plays. So those are all the references and Easter eggs I'm going to cover in Cobra Kai Season 3. I probably missed a bunch that you noticed, and I would love to know what those are in the comments below. Also, I'd love to know what you thought of Cobra Kai Season 3. Did it live up to Season 2 and 1 for you? And are you excited for Cobra Kai Season 4? I will do more Cobra Kai videos, so if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, give it a like, and check out my Cobra Kai playlist with all of my Cobra Kai videos, linked on the screen. Thanks for watching, and until next time.